All right, now changing speed for a moment, we want to discuss a heartbreaking incident that is shining a spotlight on a very difficult topic. Two young ultra-Orthodox women, cousins actually, have just committed suicide in Jerusalem, and the pressures driving their actions, explained in a note, may sound terrifyingly familiar. But what happened, and how can we as a society work to prevent this from happening again? Well, joining us to discuss is Israeli psychologist Dr. Kamila Forkosh Lavan. So first, tell us a little bit about the primary reasons that contributed to this tragedy. Tell us what happened.
From what we understand, there was sexual abuse within the family. And so this is something, sexual abuse in general is a very, very difficult topic and has huge ramifications for the victim. But those become tenfold, if not more, when it happens within the family, because now the victim doesn't have, or the target doesn't have where to go basically for safety. Right. And so all the difficulties, all the of coping and feeling that maybe they were to blame somehow, or maybe they did something wrong, or who to speak to, or look for protection. Now they don't really have where to go.
Well, in addition to that, we understand that the alleged perpetrator in the sexual abuse was released and is out and about in their community still, and so that must have been somewhat of a contributor.
So how common are struggles like this within the religious and also secular communities here in Israel? Because this story has particularly highlighted issues that are within the ultra-Orthodox community.
Right. So they're actually from Chabad, which is not that ultra-Orthodox, but Orthodox, yes, more heavily Orthodox. But the issue is, and it's good that you asked about in general communities, yes. So if we take the more secular communities, so there's a little bit more openness as far as the discussion about sexual abuse and what it means and things like that. So maybe people will be more likely to seek help, although not always, and I will come back to that in a minute. But as far as more religious or closed communities, this becomes an issue because shaming becomes higher, and there's also consideration of shidduchim and how that will affect the family and the brothers and sisters and what this will mean. And in every community, plus minus, this happens where, doesn't matter if it's religious or not, where there is this reluctance to bring dirty laundry, so to speak, out of the family, into the public.
We understand that one of the victims was actually seeing a professional psychologist and was in treatment and then stopped because of pressures from the family.
Exactly.
Like you mentioned.
Exactly. And another one was trying to also, from what we all, again, from the reports, that was moving away from the religious community, which also, of course, is a very stressful situation because now all these questions of, am I going to be accepted? I'm not going to be accepted. What will this mean? Right. And if on top of that there is trauma, this becomes very, very difficult.
So what are some of the stigmas that I think you mentioned before, or that you were going to mention?
So it seems almost like impossible to believe, but really, it's interesting that whoever is the victim often ends up being the one that's blamed. And if it happens within the family, so often the family members will not believe the child, or at some point when, by the time if a person speaks up, a lot of times they're already more adult. And many of them just don't even speak up. Right. But I just want to answer this question. They will either not believe or will not want to take sides or whatever. They will give these messages of just move on. Just, this didn't really happen. It's not a big deal. Why are you a drama queen?
So what can be done if you find yourself in a situation where you're experiencing abuse in your family and no one's listening?
Or really any of these stressors that are contributing to potential suicide?
Right. One of the biggest things that I would like to kind of put out there, that there isn't really a situation, unless someone's, I don't know, holding you at gunpoint every day, but really there's no situation that the end result should be suicide. Look around, see if you really, really are in a tough place, in a bad situation, reach out to somebody. There's a way to get out of that situation. And it shouldn't only be by suicide. And it's easy to understand how a person can get to that place because they feel like, that's it, I'm hopeless, I just cannot get out. And but do search, do go out, do go ask something. There's someone there that will help you.
All right. Dr. Forkosh Lavan, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.